The CDC says fentanyl and other synthetic opioids are the most common drugs involved in overdose deaths here in the U.S. The DEA has seized more than 55 million fentanyl-laced pills and over 9,000 pounds of fentanyl powder. That totals 265 million deadly doses. Nicole Sganga was given a rare up-close look at the fight against these drugs.
An unmarked building, hidden inside a vault and locked behind security gates. The spoils of the war against drugs.
The jugs are right here with the fentanyl.
Chief among the stacks, fentanyl and its so-called precursors, the chemicals used to make the deadly drug.
We're at a secret location inside a U.S. government bunker. All we can tell you is that we're in California. Beside me, nearly 8,500 pounds of fentanyl and its chemical precursors, soon to be destroyed.
But before the fentanyl is destroyed, officers have to find it, scouring shipments taken off cargo flights at Los Angeles International Airport. Many packages originating from China.
This literally is ground zero for our fight against fentanyl precursors.
CBP Acting Commissioner Troy Miller oversees Operation Artemis, the U.S. counter-narcotics mission that intercepted more than 8,000 pounds of chemical precursors in the last 3 months.
This is an emergency. It's an opioid epidemic where we need to go after the transnational criminal organizations.
Synthetic opioids like fentanyl kill more than 70,000 people in the U.S. annually.
She was a bright little girl.
Like 15-year-old Melanie Ramos, found lifeless in her L.A. high school bathroom last year. Her aunt calls fentanyl the devil's pill.
It's poisonous. It's poison. It's playing roulette with your life.
Another troubling trend, U.S. officials have seized hundreds of pill presses this summer alone, a sign that drug gangs are making pills on U.S. soil.
You can literally press pills in an apartment complex, and you can press thousands of pills.
And we're seeing that in the U.S. now.
We're seeing it in the U.S.
And CBS News Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga joins us now from Los Angeles. So, Nicole, we saw some of it in your piece. What more can you tell us about Operation Artemis?
Yeah, Elaine, good to be with you. Operation Artemis, a massive U.S. government counter-narcotics mission that began on June 5th, along with those precursors we spoke about, over 200 pounds of fentanyl powder and pills that were seized by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. And just to give you a sense, by DEA estimates, that amount of fentanyl could kill up to 45 million people. 90% of fentanyl pills and powder right now comes smuggled through the U.S.-Mexico border, smuggled into the United States. But what officials are most concerned about here at U.S. transit hubs like LAX are those chemical precursors, the building blocks to fentanyl. And in 2022, CBP having to sort through millions of packages to ensure that there were no narcotics or precursors of narcotics entering the U.S. In fact, 182 million air shipments. They were trying to rattle the supply chain of fentanyl here. Pill presses are also a massive problem for U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Over 120 of those seized just in the last 3 months right here at LAX.
Well, you spoke exclusively with Customs and Border Protection Acting Commissioner Troy Miller. What did he say about what resources his agency needs to curb the flow of fentanyl?
Yeah. Acting Commissioner Troy Miller said he does need some more assets. He mentioned intel research specialists, canines who are specifically trained to spot fentanyl, its precursors, also a new drug on the streets, xylazine, more CBP officials overall. He also pointed to harnessing artificial intelligence to help sort through all of the cargo, all of the packages that U.S. commerce gets. Also, this was his big point. He needs updated U.S. trade law. Believe it or not, U.S. trade law has not been updated or changed in a meaningful way since the acting commissioner first joined the agency 30 years ago. And right now, not all packages originating from China, let alone other countries, are being electronically tracked. So I asked the commissioner, do you you have the information you need to stop all of these chemical precursors from coming into the country? And he told me flat out no, hoping that that legislation moves in Congress on Capitol Hill in the coming weeks and months.
It's an interesting point, something I think we've not really heard a lot about. But Nicole, we saw you also visited that secret facility where officials screen for small packages of fentanyl and its precursors. What did officials there tell you?
Yeah, we visited an international mail facility a few miles away from here, and we were surprised to see how small some of the packages were containing fentanyl, its precursors, and other drugs. Some as small as just your average cell phone containing fentanyl powder and some of those precursors. A really dangerous working environment, frankly, for U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officials, as well as U.S. Postal officers who were there on the scene, many of them having to use gloves, goggles, masks, even hazmat suits to handle some of these narcotics. I'll give you one example now. I met an officer, Officer Chavez, on the scene who carries Narcan with him at all times in case there is any sort of fentanyl exposure. And at that facility, they actually have a policy in place that there needs to be at least one EMT, one medic on the scene at all times in case there is an exposure to fentanyl or one of its dangerous precursors.
Wow, really eye-opening to hear those details. Nicole Sganga reporting. Nicole, thank you.
Thank you.